listed against his name at serial number 1 in today's revised list of business.
श्री अर्जुन राम मेघवाल।
राज्यसभा की आज संशोधित कार्य सूची के क्रम संख्या 2 पर जो दस्तावेज मेरे नाम के आगे अंकित है, जो संस्कृति मंत्रालय से संबंधित है, आपकी अनुमति से सदन के पटल पर रखता हूं। धन्यवाद।
श्री पंकज चौधरी।
जी, मैं आज की संशोधित कार्य सूची में मेरे नाम के सामने वर्णित कागजात आपकी अनुमति से सदन के पटल पर रखता हूं।
श्री एसपी सिंह बघेल।
पुनरीक्षित कार्य सूची में मेरे नाम के आगे क्रम संख्या 4 पर उल्लेखित कागजात हिंदी और अंग्रेजी सदन के पटल पर रखने की अनुमति चाहता हूं।
श्री निश्चित प्रमाणिक।
सभापति महोदय, आज की कार्य संचालन की संशोधित सूची क्रमांक नंबर 5 पर मेरे नाम के आगे दर्शाए गए कागजात को मैं सभा पटल पर रखता हूं।
रिपोर्ट्स ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट रिलेटेड पार्लियामेंट्री स्टैंडिंग कमिटी ऑन कम्युनिकेशंस एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, डॉक्टर अनिल अग्रवाल।
माननीय सभापति जी, मैं अपने नाम के सामने यथा सूचीबद्ध संचार और सूचना प्रौद्योगिकी संबंधी अस्थायी समिति के 37वें, 38वें, 39वें, 40वें, 41वें और 42वें प्रतिवेदन हिंदी और अंग्रेजी सभा पटल पर रखता हूं।
स्टेट बाय मिनिस्टर श्री वी मुरलीधरन।
Chairman, sir, with your permission, on behalf of my colleague Dr. L. Murugan ji, I rise to lay on the table a statement in English and Hindi outlining the reasons of not framing subordinate legislation under Section 3 of the Prasar Bharati Broadcasting Corporation of India Amendment Act 2011.
Honorable members, I have received 2 notices under Rule 267 from Dr. K. Keshav Rao and Sri Sanjay Singh. They have sought permission for suspension of the listed business. I do not find the notices in conformity with the directions already imparted. I have given my ruling. Sir, Dr. K. Keshav Rao ji, Dr. K. Keshav Rao ji, you have, one second, you have articulated very effectively what you mean to convey. And very effectively and rationally. Having, one second, having taken note of that, I have given my ruling, please. Dr. Ashok Kumar, one second. Honorable members, take your seat. Take your seat. Would you take your seat now? No, would you take your seat? What do you mean by नहीं मान सकते? नहीं, what do you mean by being so judgmental? I'm surprised. नहीं, I'm surprised. बोलिए मुकुल जी, आप बैठिए, लेट मिस्टर मुकुल से।
हमने आपको नोटिस दिया, आपने उसे खारिज किया। आपने कहा कि मौका मिलेगा, मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स पर आप कह सकते हैं। मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स पर एलओपी ने अपनी बात कही, उसको आपने एक्सपंज कर दिया। एलओपी ने कौन सी ऐसी बात कही जो
अदर्स में टेक सीट, प्लीज टेक सीट।
उड़ीसा असेंबली में, कर्नाटक असेंबली में मैंने 3-4 उदाहरण देखे। जो शब्द नेता विरोधी दल ने प्रयोग किए हैं वो पूरी तरह पार्लियामेंट्री है। यहीं बैठकर मनमोहन सिंह जी ने इन शब्दों का प्रयोग किया था और वो आपकी कार्रवाई में सम्मिलित है, आप देख लें। तो मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूं, आप ही के आदेश का पालन हो रहा है कि भाई 267 में नहीं, जब राष्ट्रपति के भाषण पर चर्चा हो बोल लेना, उसमें बोल रहे हैं। तो वो भी अगर नहीं सुना जाएगा तो सर ये संसद का निर्माण जो हुआ है, इसकी जो परंपराएं हैं, आप हमेशा कहते हैं परंपराओं की रक्षा होनी चाहिए, तो मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूं उन परंपराओं की रक्षा करिए। वो जो भी शब्द निकाले गए हैं उन्हें कार्रवाई का अंग बना रहने दें, ये मेरा नम्र निवेदन।
Honorable members, I examine the proceedings in the light of rules framed by the House, and Rule 261 casts an obligation on me to make such sweeping observations that everything has been removed is not appropriate. I expect the honorable members first to go through what has been expunged. One second, sir. Please. I would urge you again that we are in a house where some decorum has to be maintained. I have taken my call. Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal. One second. Please take your seat, Honorable LOP.
सर, जो चीज रूल्स के तहत, प्रोसीजर के तहत यहाँ पर बोली जाती है, मैं नहीं समझा कि मेरे स्पीच में कोई ऐसा अनपार्लियामेंट्री और किसी के ऊपर एलिगेशन नहीं था, लेकिन फिर भी उसमें आप चुन चुन के चंद शब्दों का गलत अर्थ निकाले, ऐसा तो नहीं बोलूंगा कि आपको उसके बारे में कुछ अगर संशय है तो वो अलग ढंग से पूछ सकते थे, लेकिन आपने मेरे 6 जगह जो मैंने शब्द इस्तेमाल किए थे, मौनी बाबा और दूसरे,
I would appreciate what I expect should not be used.
तो
What I expect should not be used.
अरे नहीं साहब, इस सदन में बोले सो मैं बोल रहा हूँ। नरसिंह राव जी को वाजपेयी साहब ने खुद एक शब्द कहा था, अभी भी वो अब किताब में है, आप देखिए। और मेरे को जो जब यहाँ बात हमारे चीफ व्हिप रखते हैं हमारे पार्टी की ओर से और सदन की ओर से रखते हैं, तो आप उनको बार बार टोकते रहते हो, ये ठीक नहीं है, आप बैठिए। वो हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट है, अच्छा जानते हैं, हिंदी जानते हैं, कन्नड़ा जानते हैं, इंग्लिश जानते हैं, हिंदी जानते हैं और कौन सी भाषाएं, तो इसलिए और संसदीय भाषा जानते हैं, इसके बावजूद भी आप उनको टोकते ही रहते हो। जो मेरा डिफेंस में आता हर राइट्स को टोकना, ये ठीक नहीं है। कृपया आप और एक बार उसको देखिए।
अल्टीमेट डिफेंडर ऑफ द एलओपी इज द चेयरमैन।
नहीं, वो नहीं हो रहा ना सर, वो नहीं हो रहा, आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
डॉक्टर अशोक कुमार मित्तल, I have taken 0 hour, not present. Shri Binoy Vishwam.
Thank you, sir. With a saddened heart and with lot of purpose, I stand here. My concern and our concern, I should call it, is regarding the miseries of the Manrega workers. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act workers. Sir, their numbers come to 15.28 crores in this country. And those people, they work for the country. And they are also creating wealth in this country. And their sorrows, livelihoods, should be taken care of by this government and this house, I believe. Sir, in Manarega, we can see that it covers around 2,70,000 and 342 panchayats in the country. Such a wide scheme it is. I am proud to say it is the child of the UPA one government in which the left also played a critical role in evolving the policies. That government made this Manarega project. Sir, I am very constrained to say that this government of today is trying to kill that project, to kill it. The budget presented here in the House, in the Parliament, by the Honorable Finance Minister has allocated only 60,000 crores rupees for that scheme. So that's a paltry amount. And that amount will not be enough to maintain this project for the poor people. So 10 days back, thousands of them came to the national capital under the banner of the AITUC for a struggle. So their demand was that, so simple it is, enhance the working days to 200 in a year. Out of 365 days, they demand only 200 days. Moreover, the minimum wage they demand is only rupees 700. So today they are getting only 217 rupees. The finance minister and the ministers here and the chair, please tell us, how can a family live by this bigger amount? 217 rupees per day. They are not living, surviving. So please think of them and request the House and the government to take the matter seriously and see that at least this demonstration should be improved to 100 and the working days increased to 700 days and their minimum salary should be 700 rupees per day. Sir, I am very sure that the government of the poor, as they claim, cannot forget this claim.
श्री इमरान प्रतापगढ़ी।
कितनी आशाइशें हंसती रही ऐवानों में, कितने दर मेरी कहानी पे सदा बंद रहे। मेरे हाथों ने तो पोशाकें बिनी, मेरे हाथों ने तो पोशाकें बिनी रेशमी, लेकिन मेरे कपड़ों के मुकद्दर में तो पैबंद रहे। सभापति महोदय, मैं आज एक ऐसे समाज और उससे जुड़े उद्योग का दर्द आपके सामने रखने के लिए खड़ा हूं जिसे बुनकर समाज कहा जाता है, जो अपने हाथों के उंगलियों के हुनर से धागे से धागा जोड़ता है और हमारे आपके जिस्मों के लिए लिबास बनाता है। मैं एक ऐसे उद्योग का दर्द आपको सुना रहा हूं जो कृषि के बाद इस देश में सबसे ज्यादा रोजगार सृजित करता है। चाहे महाराष्ट्र का भिवंडी हो, मालेगांव हो, इचलकरंजी हो, उत्तर प्रदेश का बनारस हो, मऊ हो, मुबारकपुर हो, टांडा हो, मेरठ हो, इलाहाबाद का मऊआयमा हो, मध्य प्रदेश का बुरहानपुर हो, बिहार का भागलपुर हो, तमिलनाडु का सेलम हो, त्रिची हो या फिर आंध्र प्रदेश का गुंटूर हो, इन तमाम शहरों में लाखों परिवारों के घर का चूल्हा जिस उद्योग की बदौलत जलता है, वो उद्योग आज बदहाली का शिकार है। सभापति महोदय, पूरी टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री में 60% लगभग कंट्रीब्यूशन पावर लूम इंडस्ट्री का है, लेकिन सरकार ने इस इंडस्ट्री को यतीम छोड़ दिया है, बेसहारा छोड़ दिया है। कांग्रेस की सरकार ने इसके सपोर्ट के लिए 30% कैपिटल सब्सिडी दी थी, लेकिन 2014 में जब भाजपा की सरकार आई तो उसे घटाकर 10% कर दिया और इन दिनों पिछले 6 महीने से उसे भी बंद कर रखा है। सभापति महोदय, गब्बर सिंह टैक्स यानी सरकारी भाषा में जीएसटी, धागों पर लगाई गई जीएसटी ने पूरी यॉर्न मार्केट को फ्लैक्चुएट कर रखा है। सभापति महोदय, यॉर्न मार्केट के फ्लैक्चुएशन ने यह दिखा दिया है कि उस पर सरकार का कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है और यह उद्योग उसकी वजह से ज्यादा तबाह हो रहा है। चाइना से नेपाल और बांग्लादेश के रास्ते होने वाली डंपिंग ने इस उद्योग की बर्बादी में और
सहायता जताई है। पूरे एशिया में सबसे ज्यादा पावर लूम भिवंडी में हुआ करता है, लेकिन सरकारी उदासीनता के बाद पिछले दिनों 2 लाख से ज्यादा पावर लूम मशीनें कबाड़ में बिक गई। सभापति महोदय, जिस बनारस में कभी करघे पर बैठ करके कबीर दास जी झीनी बीनी चदरिया बुना करते थे, उसी बनारस में आज बुनकर भाई ईंट भट्ठों पर काम करने के लिए मजबूर हो गए। अंत में सभापति महोदय, मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि करघों के धागे टूट रहे हैं, मशीनें कबाड़ में बिक रही हैं, पावर लूम को सप्लाई होने वाली बिजली के बिलों का बोझ इतना भारी है कि बुनकरों के कंधे टूट रहे हैं। जीएसटी लगा करके सरकार ने उनकी कमर और तोड़ी है। सरकार ने जीएसटी की, आखिरी बात कह रहा हूं सभापति महोदय, सरकार ने जीएसटी की लिमिट 20 लाख रखी है। मैं अनुरोध कर रहा हूं, मांग कर रहा हूं कि जीएसटी की लिमिट कम से कम 50 लाख की जाए, इस उद्योग पर मरहम लगाया जाए, सस्ती बिजली दी जाए।
अब्दुल्ला, टाइम ओवर।
Sir, thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir. Sir, my hometown Pudukkottai, the royal province which existed between the year 1680 to 1948, was the first princely state that signed the instrument of accession on 3rd March 1948 after independence. His Highness Raja Sir Rajgopala Dandaman Bahadur was the princely state 9th and last crowned ruler. He was the first king who signed the instrument of accession with the independent India wholeheartedly with his total treasury amount currently located at Pudukkottai district. Additionally, he selflessly donated his royal palace for the functioning of the district collectorate at the request of the then Chief Minister, Dr. Kalaignar. He also served as a president of Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, Kodaikanal Boat and Rowing Club also. As soon as India gained independence, he decided to adjoin his country with India without any duress. His Highness Raja Sir was honored with many royal medals by the government. He died on 16th January 1997 at the age of 74. Sir, then the Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel got the confidence to unite India along with the princely state only because of him. His Highness Raja Sir was honored with the George V Silver Medal and George VI Coronation Medal in 1937 also, sir. During the last years of his life, he shunned away marriage to serve the people and lived like a saint-like life, sir. To commemorate his centenary recall and considering the legacy, magnanimity, and simplicity of our beloved Raja, His Highness Raja Sir Rajagopala Dandaman Bahadur, I request the Union government to release a commemorate postal stamp recognizing his service to the unity of our nation, sir. Thank you.
श्री ईराना कडाडी।
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय, आपने मुझे बोलने की अनुमति दी। बेलगावी हवाई अड्डे का निर्माण 1942 में रॉयल एयरफोर्स द्वारा किया गया था। 2018 में उड़ान 3 के अंतर्गत बेलगावी को 13 शहरों से जोड़ने के लिए 5 एयरलाइंस को चिन्हित किया गया था, जो इस योजना के तहत एक हवाई अड्डे को आवंटित उच्चतम हवाई मार्ग है। दिसंबर 2022 तक बेलगावी से दिल्ली, मुंबई, बेंगलुरु, अहमदाबाद, हैदराबाद, चेन्नई, इंदौर, नागपुर, नासिक, उदयपुर, जोधपुर, तिरुपति, पुणे, खड़प्पा, मैसूर और सूरत से जुड़ा हुआ था। बेलगावी में उड़ान योजना के लागू होने से पहले हवाई अड्डे से प्रति वर्ष 74,041 यात्री बार के साथ 1176 उड़ानों चलती थी। उड़ान योजना शुरू होने के बाद हवाई अड्डे ने 231 और 22 में 2,80,000 यात्रियों के साथ 6,470 उड़ानों का संचालन किया। बेलगावी हवाई अड्डे को अंडर सर्व्ड एयरपोर्ट के श्रेणी में केंद्रीय नागरिक उड्डयन मंत्रालय द्वारा उड़ान अवार्ड चैंपियन ऑफ उड़ान से सम्मानित भी किया गया था। बेलगावी हवाई अड्डे को उड़ान योजना के अंतर्गत दिए जाने वाली सहायता की अवधि 3 वर्ष की है, जो 2023 में समाप्त हो जाएगी। सहायता न मिलने के कारण वर्तमान में कोई एयरलाइंस अपनी सेवाओं को बंद कर सकते हैं, जिसमें कुछ एयरलाइंस कुछ एयरलाइंस ने बंद भी कर दी है। अलायंस एयर की पुणे की फ्लाइट, इसके अतिरिक्त कुछ और वजह से स्पाइस जेट दिल्ली की मुंबई, हैदराबाद, बेंगलुरु की फ्लाइट, ट्रू जेट की तिरुपति, कडप्पा, मैसूर, हैदराबाद की फ्लाइट, इंडिगो की चेन्नई की फ्लाइट, स्टार एयर की नासिक की फ्लाइट, दिल्ली तक चलने वाली फ्लाइट नॉन उड़ान रूट के अंतर्गत थी। दिल्ली वाली फ्लाइट का पैसेंजर लोड प्रतिदिन लगभग 280 यात्रियों आना और जाना मिलकर था। उसके बाद भी इस फ्लाइट को बंद कर दिया गया और बंद किए सभी रूट के पैसेंजर लोड काफी बेहतर था। बेलगावी कर्नाटक का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा जिला है। यह जिला कर्नाटक, गोवा, महाराष्ट्र तीनों राज्यों के सीमा पर स्थित है। बेलगावी प्रशासनिक दृष्टि से बहुत अधिक महत्व रखता है। प्रतिष्ठित
प्रोफेसर मनोज कुमार झा।
शुक्रिया सभापति महोदय, एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण विषय की ओर आपने मुझे मौका दिया बोलने के लिए। ये एक ऐसा विषय है माननीय सभापति महोदय जिसमें पक्ष और विपक्ष में कोई विभेद नहीं हो सकता, मतभेद नहीं हो सकता, और ये मैं संपत्ति और आय के ह्यूज असमान वितरण के संदर्भ में ये बात कह रहा हूं। माननीय सभापति महोदय, कई हमारे मित्रों ने भी चर्चा की और मुझे खुशी है इस बात की, माननीय वित्त मंत्री साहिबा भी हमारे समक्ष। और दिक्कत की बात यह है सर कि हम 5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बन जाए, लेकिन असमानता के महासागर में समृद्धि के कुछ टापू हो और पूरा का पूरा देश असमानता के उस महासागर में गोते लगा रहा हो, तो ये उचित नहीं है सर। 5% अभी जो रिपोर्ट आई है, मैं जानता हूं आप कहेंगे आजकल ऑथेंटिकेट करने के लिए, तो मैं लेके आया हूं, लेकिन मेरी वाली कॉपी वापस करवा दीजिएगा सर जी। 5% भारतीयों के पास 60% संपत्ति है, उनकी संपत्ति से कोई भेद नहीं है। दिक्कत यह है कि 50% के पास सिर्फ 3% है। जब कोरोना में लोगों की आय घट रही थी सर, हमारे देश में करोड़पतियों और अरबपतियों की संख्या बढ़ रही थी। सर ये अनायास नहीं होता है, ये सायास होता है। जिस समाज में धन और संपत्ति का इस प्रकार का असमान वितरण हो, हमारे पुरखों को अंदाजा था सर। डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी में आर्टिकल 39 क्लॉज सी, और मैं बार बार जब वित्त मंत्री जी के बजट पर मैं बोलता हूं, आग्रह करता हूं कि इसके नजरिए से बजट बनाइए। कुछ भी होगा, अगर हम इसको ना भरपाई कर पाए तो दिक्कत होगी। हमारे देश में भी सर सन 85 तक एक इस तरह के टैक्स की व्यवस्था थी, वेल्थ और इनहेरिटेंस। कई विश्व की अर्थव्यवस्थाओं में ये व्यवस्था है, क्या हम इसे वापस नहीं ला सकते सर? इस एक छोटे से प्रोग्रेसिव टैक्स के बाद इतनी बड़ी संपदा होगी, इतना बड़ा पूल होगा कि वित्त मंत्री साहिबा को डेफिसिट नहीं देखना पड़ेगा। आप जो कुछ करना चाहते हैं लोक कल्याण के लिए, आप कर पाएंगी। मैं समझता हूं कि सर धनिकों के आधार पर, सुपर धनिकों के आधार पर जिस भी समाज ने अपने निर्माण की नींव रखी है, उस समाज में क्रैक्स आए हैं सर, ज्वालामुखी की तरह धधक रहा है असमानता का पूरा मसला। अगर मैं आग्रह करूंगा आपके माध्यम से माननीय सभापति महोदय कि पूरा सत्ता पक्ष विपक्ष मिल करके एक इस तरह के टैक्सेशन की व्यवस्था करें, ताकि आप हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में, एजुकेशन के क्षेत्र में, सर अभी 28 सेकंड बाकी है, हम सार्थक पहलकदमियां कर सके। और हां, आखिर में फिर से दोहराऊंगा कि आर्टिकल 39 क्लॉज सी सब पढ़ें, उसके हिसाब से नीतियां गढ़ें तो देश बेहतर होगा। और अमृत काल में सचमुच अमृत सबके हिस्से में आएगा, ना सिर्फ कुछ के हिस्से में सिमट के रह जाएगा। शुक्रिया सर, जय हिंद।
If the professor can conclude in 2 minutes, there is no harm. Why take 3 minutes? Shri Brajlal.
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय।
आप कुछ मेहरबान रहिए। मैं आपका
धन्यवाद
शुक्रगुजार हूं।
सभापति महोदय। धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय। मैं आपका ध्यान धारा 304A आईपीसी की तरफ आकृष्ट करना चाहता हूं। जो एक्सीडेंट होता है, मृत्यु होती है, तो उसमें ये लिखा जाता है। महोदय 2021 का जो आंकड़ा है, उसमें पूरे देश में 4 लाख एक्सीडेंट हुए। 1,55,000 लोग एक्सीडेंट में मारे गए और इसमें 68% जो संख्या है वो 18 से 45 वर्ष के लोगों की है, जो लाइफ का प्राइम एज होता है, देश के प्रोडक्टिविटी में काम आता है। महोदय, जो घायल हुए हैं उनकी संख्या 3.7 लाख है। हत्या में इस देश में जो 2021 में हत्याएं हुई हैं, जिसमें लोग 30,000 लोग मारे गए, तो एक्सीडेंट में जो मारे गए हैं उनकी संख्या मर्डर से 5.17 गुना है। ये बड़ा अलार्मिंग है महोदय। एक्सीडेंट में जो मुकदमे कायम होते हैं उसमें सजा है 2 साल की और वो थाने से अवेलेबल है। चाहे कोई एक्सीडेंट करके फुटपाथ पर सोते हुए मजदूरों को दबा दे, किसी को झोपड़ी में घुसा दे, तब भी सजा महोदय मात्र 2 साल की है। और जो एक्सीडेंट होते हैं उसमें 85.4% एक्सीडेंट ओवर स्पीडिंग से होते हैं। महोदय, मेरा ये कहना है कि अंग्रेजों के जमाने का कानून था, गाड़ी उन्हीं के पास होती थी, वही चलाते हैं और आज भी जो है बड़ा वर्ग है उसी के पास है, तो थाने से ही अवेलेबल हो जाए, एक दिन भी जेल नहीं जाएगा। मेरा आपसे अनुरोध यह है कि धारा 304A है, उसमें अमेंडमेंट करके एक धारा जोड़ा जाए 304AA। अगर एक्सीडेंट कोई शराब के नशे में करता है, ड्रग्स में करता है, जॉय राइडिंग में करता है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक उपकरणों का प्रयोग करता है, तो उसकी जिम्मेदारी ज्यादा बनती है, उसमें सजा का प्राविधान भी ज्यादा होना चाहिए और उसमें फाइन भी ज्यादा होना चाहिए, जो मृतक के परिवार को दिया जा सके। इसलिए मेरा अनुरोध है महोदय कि ये 304A में कम से कम 7 साल की सजा होनी चाहिए, जुर्माना ज्यादा होना चाहिए और वो जुर्माना जो मृतक का परिवार है उसको दिया जाना चाहिए। यही मेरा कहना है महोदय। जय हिंद।
डॉक्टर अमर पटनायक।
Thank you, Chairman, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Sir, as per the latest report of TRI, that is 31st July 2022, the overall tele density of Orissa is 75.23%, which is within the bottom 5 states of India. Even the Northeast has higher tele density at 77.98% and Jammu and Kashmir at 88.18%. The national average is 85.11%. So you can imagine the kind of service, the denial of digital services to the people staying in this region. Now, within this, the rural tele-density is only 62.73%. Internet density is 34.51%. All these statistics give one particular picture clear that the rural people of Orissa have no benefit from the extension of digital revolution in the country. The KBK region, sir, this has 7 aspirational districts. Now, in this region, sir, 10,000 villages have no internet connectivity, no tele-density, sir. 6,278 villages are still without mobile access or connectivity, sir. Now, wherever there is a internet connectivity, the signal is so weak that they have to either climb up to a house, and if they don't have a house because it's Malkangiri and areas, they have to climb up a tree, sir. Now, in this kind of a scenario, sir, it was envisaged to install towers, mobile towers, and there was a proposal for it. The proposal is LWU Phase 2, Reliance Jio was supposed to install 483 towers. Aspirational Districts Projects, 2,379 towers. 4G Saturation Project, 1,572 towers, and similar such proposals. But there is no timeline given for completion of these projects. When will they be completed? Similarly, sir, the BharatNet project, sir. Now the government of Orissa had asked for approximately rupees 327 crore under the special assistance for increasing utilization of BharatNet Phase 2 in the state. These funds have also not been released. So what concerns me is that the budget, the center's current recent budget estimates is 26% less than the previous budget estimate of last year and 37% less than the revised estimates. In such a scenario, sir, I shudder to think how this entire project will be completed and digital connectivity in the remotest part of Orissa, particularly rural left-wing extremist affected areas, will be completed. So through you, sir, I urge the government to have a concerted effort in completing this project and ensuring that tele-density and internet connectivity increases in rural part of Orissa. Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. Fozia Khan.
Thank you very much, Chairman, sir. Sir, as per the data revealed by SAFAR, India Institute of Tropical Meteorology, IITM, the air quality of cities like Mumbai and Pune have dropped to poor and very poor levels, sir. So this is the result of the northeasterly and the easterly wind flow, which carries pollutants and moisture with it. The pollutants which flow from the Indo-Gangetic Basin and central India, combined with constant drop in temperature and the cloudy weather throughout the day, have rendered these pollutants to stay within the vicinity of humans, blocking their escape to higher levels in the atmosphere, sir. So usually when temperatures are high, humidity is less and there is dry weather with greater particle suspension. These pollutants are responsible for the falling of the PM 2.5 concentration to 317 micrograms per cubic meter in Pune and 313 micrograms per cubic meter in Mumbai, when the maximum possible limit is 60 micrograms per cubic meter, sir. A more or less similar situation is there throughout the state concerning these affairs. Additionally, it has left the doctors worried about a hike in cases of upper respiratory tract infections, bronchial asthma, and heart issues, sir. These pollutants could either be from dust or pollen or from vehicular emissions. Sir, although at present it's not in the hands of humans to alter the structure of winds and the climate, a robust mechanism to combat factors that lead to air pollution must be raised, sir, and the health infrastructure for this needs to be maintained to address such issues so that people affected, especially the senior citizens, sir, can avail themselves of the benefit of the same. At the end, I will only say, sir, be a part of the solution and not part of the pollution. Thank you, sir.
Srimati J.B. Mathur Isham.
Sir, I'm deeply obliged by the opportunity. I would like to draw your kind attention to the impending crisis faced by the paddy farmers in Kerala. So the paddy farmers in Kerala, the state corporation had procured 482 crores worth of paddy, but unfortunately only 45 crores have been paid to them. 437 crores is pending with them. And why this happened? Because about 580 crores is pending from the government, union government to the state, and 460 crore from the state government. So the farmers, if the paddy farmers are not provided with the money which they are rightfully due, it is pushing them towards the wall, and it is very, very unfortunate that the payment is not being paid. So all I'm asking for is that the union government should make the payment which is due of about 580 crores, sir. I'm not asking for 21,370 crores from State Bank of India, sir. I'm not asking for 70,000 from LIC, sir. All I'm asking is 580 crores, which is rightfully due to the paddy farmers of Kerala. So let me respectfully remind that our country's and this government's priority ought to be farmers and not a company. Let me also respectfully remind that our country's and this government's priority ought to be to ensure that every one out of 140 crores of people in this country, they should not stay without food, and not the priority should be to make 1% richest in the world, sir. Let me also respectfully remind that our country's and this government's priority should be to ensure that not a single youth will stay without employment, and but not to make all sectors being given to one person, sir. So I take this opportunity to once again respectfully submit to remind this government that our priority is farmers, and in Kerala, this paddy farmers is facing grave injustice, and if union government is given this 580 crores, it will be a great blessing. And I can assure you one more thing, sir, if this 580 crores is given, nobody in this country will ask for JPC. There will not be walkout. Sir, there will not be any kind of issue, but there will be definitely a great blessing by the farmers. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Shri Kartikeya Sharma.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir. I want to bring to the attention the need to ensure protection of all rights of patients from the arbitrariness of private hospitals. Indian Constitution guarantees fundamental rights to each and every citizen of India. Article 21 of the Constitution of India guarantees a fundamental right to life and personal liberty. The Constitution of India does not expressly recognize the right to health as a fundamental right under Part 3 of the Constitution. However, through judicial interpretation, this has been read into the fundamental rights to life and personal liberty, Article 21, and is now considered an inseparable part of the right to life. The right to health is inherent to life with dignity. Article 39E, 41 and 43 of Directive Principles of State Policy put the obligation on the state in order to ensure the effective realization of the right to health. Despite constitutional provisions of the right to health care, private hospitals deal with the citizens in an arbitrary manner and violate their basic rights. If the patient's family is unable to bear the hospital expenses, it has been noticed in most of the cases that until a patient or his or her relative end up paying the bill, the patient is not discharged and held in the hospital even if they are unable to do so. For instance, in November 2020, a woman patient after her delivery was held by a private hospital at Kushinagar in Uttar Pradesh for not paying the hospital bills. The patient's family had to approach the police administration in order to get the women free from the hospital. In August 2019, another patient was held by the Apollo Spectra Hospital of Delhi for non-payment of bills post-surgery. Not only this, there have also been many cases of seizing dead bodies. Such an incident reported last year from the Shahdol district of Madhya Pradesh, where the doctors of the Devanta hospital took the dead body under their charge, and just because the relatives of the deceased could not pay the hospital bills in time. Similar cases are also being registered from other parts of the country, where the patients are met with inhumane conditions. Certain cases have been brought to light where patients have been tied to the bed of by the hospital administration for non-payment of bills, and doctors ignored the patient's health by showing negligence in their treatment. In this regard, the Devesh Singh Chauhan versus State in the other cases, Delhi High Court in 2016 held that no hospital can hold a patient under any circumstances, even if it is a case of non-payment of bills. Along with this, it is also unambiguously mentioned in the Charter of Patients' Rights prepared by NHRC that the patient has the right to be discharged. Patient cannot be held by the authority of the hospital under any circumstances. The report on the Competition Commission of India in 2021 states that the charges of renowned hospitals like Delhi, Fortis, Max, Apollo, Sir, Gangaram, St. Stephen's, etc. are very high. These hospitals charge thousands of times more.
Dr. Shantanu Sen.
Thank you, respected chair. Good morning, one and all. My topic is on the amount that the government of West Bengal is supposed to get from the central government, which is definitely known to you, sir, that as because you happen to be our learned and beloved governor at that point of time. Sir, on 18th of November 2021, our Honorable Chief Minister has met with our Honorable Prime Minister, and thereafter on 5th of August 2022, once again she has given all the documents, which has shown that there was a dues amount of 1,968 crores, sir. If we can categorize for the welfare project like Narega, it was 6,561 crore. For Amphan calamity, it was 4,200 crore. For COVID and other natural calamities, it was more than 6,000 crore. For Narega, I have said for PM Awas Yojana, it was more than 9,000 crore. For PM Gram Sadak Yojana, the dues were more than 2,000 crore. For midday meal, the dues were 174 crore. For Swachh Bharat Mission, it was 344 crore. For food subsidy, it was more than 1,200 crore. For PM Janavikas Karyakram Yojana, it was 44 crore. And the ongoing Geleghai Kapaleshwari flood, it was 178 crore. Said, since then till now, only a meager amount has been cleared, sir. At the same time, sometimes the funds are getting released at the fag end of the financial year, leading to complication so far the implementation of the project is concerned. So far the PM Awas Yojana is concerned, till date, we are supposed to get the first installment for more than 11 lakhs 33,000 houses, sir. So far the Narega is concerned, we have seen there has been a slash down of this budgetary allocation by 33%, though it is the largest social welfare project, sir. We can easily record the PM's comment regarding Narega, but unfortunately, we are yet to get a huge amount for this Narega project, sir. Sir, though West Bengal happens to be the one of the best performing states, but because of political vendetta, West Bengal has been facing this financial blockade from this government of India, sir. Sir, we have been facing several central agencies. Mid-day meal is facing CAG audit, but PM Chaos Fund is not facing any CAG audit, sir. This is very unfortunate, sir. So far the name changing is concerned, this government is the pioneer of changing the names of several projects, sir. My humble submission to the government, don't do this vendetta politics with the best performing state like state of West Bengal, which is doing its best under the leadership of Madam Mamata Banerjee. Kindly clear the dues for the social welfare projects which you are supposed to clear, sir. This is our humble submission before the government. Thank you very much.
Siri Tiruchi Siva.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. Sir, the health workers comprising of the doctors, the nurses, and the hospital staff are a vital part of the society, and they work selflessly and are considered to be the living gods on earth. So, but these health workers are constantly undergoing violence, sir. They face frequent violence in their workplace, not only physical violence, sir, but also damage to the hospital clinical establishments. Sir, according to a survey conducted by the Indian Medical Association, 75% of doctors surveyed had suffered at least one form of physical violence in their entire career. And most of them are done by the family of the patients. So several factors contribute to violence against healthcare workers, including infrastructural gaps, weak security apparatus in clinical establishments, delayed response by law enforcement agencies, insufficient facilities of counseling attendance, unregulated entry of trespassers, lack of stringent legal provisions, and overburdened doctors. Sir, an amendment was made in the year 2020 in the Epidemic Diseases Act. Despite that, sir, the intensity is increasing day by day. Sir, the amendment merely safeguards also only violence against the situation during an epidemic situation. Sir, I urge the government, it should proactively work towards ensuring a safe environment for the health workers. Sir, it has to consider adding norms for hospitals to have security measures, including CCTVs and well-defined restrictions on the entry of visitors, and must also include cyber trial. Additionally, sir, these offences should be made as non-bailable. At present, sir, these cases are dealt only by very lenient IPC sections. Sir, before the punishment is given, everything gets slabs. Sir, 21 states and union territories already have a law in place, but we need a law at the union level, sir, to have a uniformity. Sir, the increasing frequency of cases is not only detrimental to them, sir, but of course, it shatters the edifice on which a doctor-patient relationship results, which is their faith. Sir, their dedicated involvement may also get disturbed. So taking all these into consideration, sir, the government, I urge again, ought to introduce a legislation in their favor that will instill the long-last confidence in the minds of the medical fraternity. Thank you very much.
Sri Rajendra Gehlot.
माननीय सभापति जी, वो मैं आपका ध्यान मेरे राज्य राजस्थान में हुई ओलावृष्टि के कारण किसानों की खड़ी फसल बर्बाद होने से हुए नुकसान की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। राजस्थान में ओलावृष्टि से सबसे बड़ी मार किसानों पे पड़ी है। जनवरी माह में के अंत में राजस्थान में हुई भारी ओलावृष्टि और बरसात के कारण लगभग 14 जिलों में करीब 15 लाख हेक्टेयर खेती खराब हो गई है, जबकि 109 लाख हेक्टेयर में हुई फसल प्रभावित हुई है। 65% फसल बर्बाद हो चुकी है। इसका किसानों की आजीविका अर्थव्यवस्था पर गहरा प्रभाव पड़ा है। महोदय, राजस्थान सरकार को बार बार मांग करने के बाद भी इस फसल का जो आंकलन करके किसानों की मदद करनी चाहिए थी, वो मदद नहीं कर पा रही है। इसलिए मैं कृषि व किसान कल्याण मंत्री से आग्रह करूंगा कि इस मामले में संज्ञान लेते हुए किसानों पर आई हुई इस आपदा और प्राथमिकता देते हुए राजस्थान के किसानों को नुकसान का आकलन अतिशीघ्र करवा कर किसान फसल बीमा योजना के अंतर्गत मुआवजा वितरण अतिशीघ्र करवाए की व्यवस्था करें, जिसे आपदा से त्रस्त किसानों को राहत मिल सके। धन्यवाद।
Dr. V. Sivadasan.
Respected Chair, I would like to share the burning issues of agriculture workers in our country. So, highest workers in India is in agriculture sector. So, Mahatma Gandhi told us India is living in villages. But sir, what is the condition of our agriculture workers in our country? They are not getting proper wages. They don't have enough employment in their village. Why it is happening, sir? Sir, the wage of agriculture workers, the average wage or per day wage is below than the price of the 1 liter petrol, sir. So it should be addressed. Sir, here, union government is not ready to provide any financial assistance for the upliftment of the agricultural workers in our country. Here, some states like Kerala, they are introducing some welfare measures for agriculture workers. The agriculture pension is there. Agriculture pension is there in Kerala. There, 1,600 rupees is a per month pension for agriculture workers. So why it is not implemented in Uttar Pradesh? Why it is not in Gujarat? So agriculture workers pension, the government, union government should take the initiative for implement the agriculture workers pension. The agriculture workers welfare scheme, what is the condition all over India? The welfare schemes. So agriculture, the children of agriculture workers is studying very pathetic condition. Their education facilities are very bad shape. Their health facilities in villages are very bad shape. So agriculture, for the upliftment of the agriculture workers sector, the intervention of the government, union government is very necessary. Mahatma Gandhi Gramin employment scheme, guarantee scheme, what is the condition now, MGNREG? So day by day, we are hearing the news of reduction of fund allocation and the programs and projects. There, the duty of the union government is to provide the fund to the state government for the welfare scheme of the agriculture workers. Basically, they are the real annadatas of the nation. You don't forget the real annadatas of the nation. Sir, the salary of the agriculture workers, it should be increased. So the financial assistance of the union government is very necessary for that. In education sector, so children of agriculture workers in studying in villages without pakka building. So government should provide special scheme for agriculture workers' children. Well, government should provide the health facilities for them. Each and every village, special care, health care centers, government should arrange for agriculture workers. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Shrimati Shanta Chetri.
Thank you, sir. My subject matter is demand for inclusion of Lepcha language in 8th schedule. Khambrimo, sir, it means in Lepcha language, namaskar, for allowing me to speak. I would like to draw the kind attention of this August House that Lepcha is a Himalayas language spoken by Lepcha people in Sikkim, parts of West Bengal in Darjeeling and Kalimpong. The United Nations National Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, lists Lepcha as an endangered language. The Lepcha language is spoken in Sikkim and Darjeeling and Kalimpong district in West Bengal. Sir, the 1991 Indian census counted 39,342 speakers of Lepcha. Lepcha is considered to be one of the indigenous languages of the area in which it is spoken. Lepcha people have their own indigenous script. I humbly urge the August House to draw the kind attention of the Honorable Prime Minister to include the long pending demand of Lepcha people to include their language in 8th schedule. This will ensure the preservation and growth of the rich language. Proximo, sir, that means thank you.
Dr. Dharamstal Virender Hegde.
Honorable Speaker, sir, thank you for this opportunity. India is a country of villages and has the traditional medicine system Ayurveda. People across the country are following traditional Indian medical system of Ayush. Ayurveda is called the science of life, plays an important role in maintaining physical well-being and resisting diseases. The government should launch health awareness campaigns to promote physical activity, walking, and encourage people not to follow a sedentary lifestyle. Use of plants as a source of medicine has been an ancient practice and is an important component of the healthcare system in India. In India, about 70% of the rural population depends on Indian traditional Ayurveda system of medicine. Most healers or practitioners of the traditional system of medicine prepare formulations by their own recipes and dispense to the patients, improving the information and services provided in local pharmacies that are the primary source of treatment for many ailments in rural areas might serve as an effective substitute for allowing an unregulated use of conventional medical treatment. The government campaigns should aim to promote Ayurveda and yoga as disciplines to help lead a healthy life. The government should launch a scheme in rural areas to popularize Ayush-based lifestyles, which are promoted through behavioral change in communication, training of village health workers towards identification and use of local medicinal plants, and provisions of Ayush health services. What are the measures taken by the Ministry of Ayush for further propagating the natural medical system, especially in rural areas of the country? Whether the government has prepared and distributing authentic publicity material on Ayurveda and yoga, including new media, internet, multimedia, print media, and digital media campaigns, and setting up platforms for the same. There is a need to revisit the state policies to further strengthen the traditional healthcare systems in the country. In view of the rising demand for Ayush modalities and therapeutics, the limitations of statutory regulations towards Ayush system need to be relooked. The Ministry of Ayush should devise mechanisms for centralized data collection and real-time monitoring with the states and UTS. It is evident that the Ayush system has a countrywide network and is playing a very important role in the mitigation of diseases with low cost. Ayush preventive measures play a vitally important role in maintaining the well-being of people. Various treatment modalities support the existing standard treatment protocols. Even some other countries are attracted towards this, and I wish that there is attention will be paid to this.
Siri P. Wilson.
Chairman, sir, I raise to bring to the kind attention of this august House the issue relating to the abolition of toll plazas on national highways across the country. Sir, I made a special mention in this August House requesting the abolition of toll plazas across the country and collect a one-time fee at the time of registration of the vehicles, and to ensure that the right to travel, which is a fundamental right, is accessible and available to all. On 15/11/2022, I received a response from the Honorable Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways in which he assured that in respect of the public funded project, the fee leviable would be reduced to 40% of the user fee, which means 60% of the fees alone will be collected in these toll plazas. Sir, I'm thankful to the Honorable Union Minister. However, I would like to place on record that this has not yet been implemented till today, thereby causing hardships, financial burdens to the peoples who have no choice but to use the toll roads and shell out huge money while crossing the toll plazas. Especially those living adjacent to the toll roads have to use the roads every day, and despite monthly passes available, it is still expensive for the common man. Sir, in Tamil Nadu, I can give two examples where even after realization of the investment, they are collecting even for 15 years. They are Paranur and Athur on Tamaram, Dindivanam, NH 45, and Nemili and Chenna Samudram on Punumali Valajapat, NH 4. Sir, as per National Highways rules, two toll plazas within 60 kilometers is prohibited. In the said letter returned to me, the Honourable Minister has mentioned that the issue raised by me with regard to the toll plazas being located within less than 60 kilometers distance of each other would be resolved. However, in Tamil Nadu, out of 48 toll plazas located, as per National Highways rules, there could be only 16 toll plazas. Thus, there is an excess of 32 toll plazas. In fact, National Highways Authority of India itself has identified 22 toll gates located within 60 kilometers of adjacent plazas on 13 national highways in Tamil Nadu. And these toll plazas are yet to be removed. Sir, ultimately, the lower economic class and middle class are suffering. Small-time vendors, lorry operators, and transporters are spending huge chunks of their monthly budget towards toll. These are people who even pledge their jewels to make ends their meet. We should not put the burden of paying for road infrastructure on them. Sir, the problem is not only in Tamil Nadu, but it is seen in pan-India. There are more than 1,000 toll plazas in India. These are toll plazas in which public is compelled to pay toll plazas for incomplete facilities, that too at exorbitant rates. To make matters worse, NHA increases toll plazas mechanically year by year. There is no independent regulatory authority which determines the toll fees. The formula adopted to justify periodical increase of toll fees is higher, unscientific, no rationality, and is highly arbitrary. An official in the cadre of Deputy Secretary simply raises a mathematical formula found in the concession agreement and keeps on increasing the toll fees mechanically. Even the state government's public transports are charged. So therefore, the time has come where all toll plazas have to be abolished completely, as it hampers free movement, development, and industrialization. I urge the Honourable Transport Minister to look into this matter urgently.
Shri Jose K. Mani.
Thank you, sir. Yes. This is about a severe crisis faced by the fishermen community. There are about 28 million people in the country rely on fishing for the livelihood. In Kerala itself, there are about 11 lakh fishermen. The biggest, the worst flood which hit the Kerala in 2018, they rescued about 50,000 people who were in the verge of death. So the livelihood of the fishermen community is getting hampered due to erratic weather condition, threat of climatic cyclonic storms, coastal erosion, excess tourism and development projects, which leads to large-scale displacement of fishing community. They have been hit hard by the aggressive trawling by the foreign fishing vessels and commercial fishing. The families are in constant danger of displacement. We take the case of tribal communities. The right of our forest resources were recognized by the Forest Right Act 2006. The act recognized the symbiotic relationship of the tribal communities with the forest. They are given individual as well as community rights for the forest resource. In the same way, sir, the fishermen community have the traditional right to our marine resources. They are sons of sea. However, there are no laws currently in place to protect their rights. In this regard, I would urge the government to come up with a suitable legislation in the lines of the Forest Right Act to recognize the right of fishing community over marine resources. Thank you.
Question number 76, Shri Jose K. Mani.
Question number 76.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, the reply is laid on the table of House.
Supplementary one.
So the limonite minerals have extensive application in atomic energy, defense and space sector for various strategic purposes in the country. In the draft proposal for amending the Minerals Act 1975, government has proposed to revoke its 2019 ban on private entities. Just days before the draft proposal was placed before the public consultation, it is alleged that the two new companies dealing with the same strategic important rare materials have been registered by the leading corporate company, which is already facing an allegation. So this will definitely opening up this area.
Please ask your supplementary.
Yeah, I'm coming. This is the question, sir. Opening up the strategic mineral sector to private entities against national security. What is the government stand on the proposed amendment, and does the government have any plans to reconsider its decision regarding opening up this critical sector to private entities?
Honorable Minister.
Chairman, sir, through you, I wish to inform the honorable member that, as he rightly mentioned, limonite has varied properties. It's used in paint, in paper, also nowadays in the aviation sector, in the making of aircrafts, even the health sector, the making of implants. But as such, there has the price of the limonite, because which is available from 3 states, primarily Kerala, Odisha, and Tamil Nadu, is determined by the market dynamics. And the Kerala government had actually put a rider that they should be given the first preference. Only after that, it is available to the other entities. In Kerala itself, we have 2 PSUs, and one is the private sector. And rather, I would say that I would solicit the help of the state government there. We have certain constraints in making full utilization and full exploration of it. Because of the dense population in those areas, the surface rights of the landowners come in the way they do not always allow. But more importantly, the Kerala government had given us this lease way back in 1970. And the lease was for 4 blocks for a period of 20 years. Then it got renewed in 1990, again 20 years. Then the renewal was due in 2010, but it was denied. 2 blocks were totally denied. The other 2 blocks were given permission or lease only for 5 years. So 5, then 5, then 5. There was the third segment of 5. So the constraint actually is happening from the side of the Kerala government, rather. And
That is true for.
yeah, and there are 2 PSUs. One is the Travancore Titanium. The other one is Kerala Minerals Limited. Kerala Minerals and Metals Limited. So now, in fact, the Travancore Limited is putting pressure on us that they should be getting price which is available for the limonite or the titanium available from Odisha coast. Now, incidentally, the fact is that the eastern coast is richer in the mineral, but the content is lesser. So here the overall quantity may be lesser, but the content inside is more effective or manageable. So I think that is the reason. In fact, the constraint on the functioning of the IREL is coming more from the preferences which have been put forward by the state government rather than IREL per se.
Honorable member, second supplementary.
Sir, I have not asked for the price details. I've asked for a single direct question. It is a strategic component in the atomic energy. Whether the government is planning to lift the ban which is on the private entities. That is my question. He has not answered to that. So my second supplementary, what are the steps taken by the government to protect the public sector undertaking like the IREL, which produce strategic important rare minerals used for the atomic energy purpose, strategic component it is, whether government plans to private this sector in future? This is a direct question.
No, as I said, to add to what he was mentioning to the earlier question, there is only one private company there in Kerala to which the mineral is made available only after the government-run PSUs have exhausted their demand. That was our commitment. We are sticking to that. The lack of commitment if happening is from the other side. Now, as far as the protection of these minerals are concerned, I agree. These are B sandy minerals, and we are, in fact, equally careful, cautious about this because out of these 7 beach minerals, one is monazite, which is also a source of thorium. And India happens to be the storehouse of thorium in the sense that we have 21% of it. And we are also looking forward to have world's first ever thorium-run reactor in the form of Bunny, which is also going to be made functional by next year or 2020. In fact, I would use this opportunity to say that out of the 22 reactors that we have in India today, as many as 10 to 11 were established only during the last 8.5 years of this government. Not only that, no, yes, but I can add to, yes, I'm adding to the answer. And secondly, what I'm trying to say is the intent of the government is so clear, so sincere, and so committed. The irony, sir, is that the first ever agreement for a reactor established way back in 1988, if you go back in the history, but the construction work, and then construction work started in 2011, 2001. And till then, it had not been made functional. It was only after this government came, within 6 months, in November 2014, we made the first unit functional. Now the 4 units are already functional. So I think we are moving on a fast track, trying to make up for the lapse or the time slag of the past governments, also living up to the commitment and the national interest. We have, in fact, fortified our means and our mechanism of guarding these metals. As you were saying, referring to your question, we are not only now using the radiation methods or the radio checkposts, we are now also using space technology to detect any pilferage of these minerals happening.
Dr. Fozia Khan. Dr. Fozia Khan.
Sir, since the Honorable Prime Minister is here, I would like to take liberty to ask a question about something which is near my neighborhood. As की पहली LIGO लेजर इंफोरोमेट्री ग्राउंड वेव लेबोरेटरी है जो हमारे औंढा नागनाथ के दुधाला गांव में एस्टैब्लिश की जा रही है। और उस ऑब्जर्वेटरी का विशेषता ये है कि ये दुनिया की तीसरी लेबोरेटरी है। ये इससे पहले 2 जो है अमेरिका के बाहर है, मौजूदा हैंसफोर्ड वॉशिंगटन में और लिविंगस्टन ल्यूजियाना में। सर 100 करोड़ रुपए ऑलरेडी इस पर स्पेंड हो गए हैं। मेरी विनंती है कि अगर ये काम हम इस G20 के वर्ष में करते हैं तो बहुत बड़ा काम हो सकता है हमारे हिंदुस्तान के लिए। ये एक बहुत फेदर इन द कैप हो सकता है। 100 करोड़ स्पेंड हो गए हैं, 1200 करोड़ इसमें लगने वाले हैं। क्या माननीय प्रधानमंत्री इस विशेष प्रयोगशाला के लिए आगे काम बढ़ाएंगे?
Honorable Minister.
The question of the honorable member refers to one specific laboratory. I think we'll get the update and furnish it to her because it's not directly related to the department of the question.
Sri V. Vijay Reddy.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity, sir. I'm very happy that Honorable Prime Minister is present. Sir, now that Honorable Minister has agreed that there is a private sector.
Sir, your question.
That's sir. Honorable Minister has stated in this August House that the private sector is allowed in the mining of sand minerals. Sir, since the government is allowing the private entities to engage the mining beach sand minerals like limonite sand, which are considered to be one among the 7 which are very important, the Honorable Minister has said, sir, strategic rare earth minerals. How does the government of India intend to regulate this industry, because private sector is there, so that it does not lead to unfair practices?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I think the concern of the honorable member is well taken. But he would also appreciate that if you go by the sequence of events of the last 7, 8 years or 9 years, there has been considerable improvement. There was a time around 2013-12 when most of the newspapers published from Chennai had every fortnight one or the other news reported about some smuggling happening over there. Because the irony is that out of these 7 minerals, some of the private parties would secure a license to dig out granite for building purposes. But in the garb of that, they would also take out monazite, which is actually required for the thorium, for uranium-233, and therefore for the nuclear reactors. But after this government came in, we have supplemented not only the existing safeguards, but as I said, even we have now started using the other means like space technology, because through space technology, through satellite imaging, you can determine the different shades of the minerals, and any suspicious activity happening there can be detected. Thirdly, I would also, again, coming back to what I was saying in response to the first question, the law and order also pertains to the state government. So we are repeatedly requesting the concerned state governments to be more cooperative, because the police deployment and the other features are under their control. But we are very cautious about it. And regardless of whether it is a private party or a public sector unit, I think the caution remains the same.
Sri Ilamaram Karim.
Thank you, sir. The strategically important rare earths are available at seashore. Kerala seashore, as you said, it is thickly populated. Whether government has conducted any ecological study, what will be the impact of private concerns mining at the seashore? Whether government has conducted any study? If yes, will you provide a copy to members? If not, before giving permission to private hands for mining, a proper study on ecological impact should be conducted.
Honorable Minister.
I think the honorable member's concern is well taken, but I would like to share with him that this is something which is been there right from the beginning. And we have something called Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, which is the overall umbrella under the aegis of which the IREL also functions. So not only this, even in other issues like this, which require to be guarded or to be monitored, I think the due exercise is done. And wherever the mining is done, in fact, I would rather solicit the support of the cooperation of the public representatives, because some of the places we get undue apprehensions being created in the public mind when we undertake a project. Like, for example, we have a huge source of uranium in northeastern state of Meghalaya, which got stuck up. In Rawalbhata, we were about to put up a plant which has been stuck up for the last 2-3 years or so. And therefore, all the due caution is taken wherever this mining is done, or even the reactor is set up. But it's only the apprehension which happens. Sometimes somebody says that there will be now epidemic of cancers happening or something like that. Though we have provided them studies to the contrary, we did a small in-house survey to see how many scientists working in Bhava Atomic Center died of cancer due to radiations. And you would be surprised, we found none. There were only 2 or 3 unnatural deaths happening, and 1 or 2 cancers which were not related to radiation. So I think it's a responsibility of all of us to allay these fears. In some of the foreign countries now, the mining and the reactors are being established even in the residential colonies or in their close vicinity.
Sri, question number 77, Sri Mohammad Nadimul Haq.
Question number 77.
Sir, a statement is laid on the table of the House.
Supplementary one.
Sir, the Comptroller and Auditor General of India has pulled up the Ministry of External Affairs for revenue losses and improper financial management in a recently released audit report. So my question is, does the ministry have any planned compensation mechanism in order to recover the revenue losses of rupees 58.23 crores occurred because of misapplication of fees in the OCI card scheme?
Honorable Minister.
Sir, I would like to inform the honorable member through you, sir. The Ministry of External Affairs extends a number of consular services for passports, visas, consular services, attestations, OCI, PIO. Each of this is a charged service. Now, because these are rendered outside the country, there are rate of exchange issues which come up. Now, these are all services which came up at different points of time. So typically they were handled, the instructions in each case were sent individually. Now, in 2017, instructions were sent regarding, because whenever there is devaluation or revaluation, there's a refixation of the rate of exchange. In 2017, instructions were sent regarding refixing of the rate of exchange. Now, the CAG paragraph, sir, and I want to say here that my own experience of audit and of CAG, I believe they are a very essential part of good governance. They help us to look at imperfections in our process. So CAG brought to attention two sets of issues. One related to UK. Now, in the case of UK, there should have been, according to the CAG report, a 23% increase in the fees which were charged. But our mission in UK took the view at that point that this would have a very dampening effect on the tourism from UK to India, and therefore limited it to 10%. So they did it for what they considered to be policy reasons. 17 other missions and posts in Europe. In their particular case, they were under the assumption that the instructions apply to visas and not to OCI. So they did not make the necessary changes. Now, when this matter has come to attention, we have actually, before the matter was actually taken up by CAG, sir, we had issued instructions in 2020 to rectify the process. So what we have tried to do is to put systemic checks, because that is the nature of the CAG process. The CAG wants us to make corrections so that such a mistake will not happen again. So we have instituted quarterly reporting, which is monitored through the e-Samiksha process, so that the rate of exchange on all services is monitored quarterly. Every month, the head of the consular wing is also required to report to the head of mission or head of post. And there's a mandatory revision every April, so that whatever happens, it is not slipped up due to bureaucratic delay. And there's a unified rate of all services, so that this kind of situation will not occur.
Supplementary 2.
Sir, there has been setting up of Indian cultural centers abroad. In Washington, D.C., at a cost of $5.75 million in 2013, a center was taken up. And in Paris in 2011, it was taken up, which is now encroached. Sir, in the answer, it has been given that these properties have faced certain challenges in preparing them for their intended use.
Your question.
So my question is, sir, what is the plan of action and why such a casual answer has been given?
Honorable Minister. Sir. Honorable Member,
sir.
The answer was very comprehensive. I'm sure you'll take note of it. And if there is an issue, you may discuss with the Honorable Minister at mutual convenience. Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, please. No, please. Honorable Minister.
So, so in the case of the property in Washington, it was acquired in 2013. Now, in the case of the property in Paris, it was acquired in 2011. Now, typically, and they were acquired for the purpose of cultural centers. Now, typically, so when properties are acquired, not built greenfield, they need to be modified for use. And that is the information which I was trying to convey to the honorable member through my answer, that there was a modification required to make it ready for use. Now, in the case of the Washington property, sir, what happened was, after the acquisition of the property, a certain set of issues came up while the matter was being processed. There were waterproofing issues, there were asbestos concerns, there was conservation work which was recommended by the architect we were looking at. And in all of this, we also faced a problem that the general financial rules of the government of India was at variance with American practice. For example, our rules require us to take earnest money deposit, to seek a performance guarantee bond, to seek retention money, and these are not American practices. So by the time we resolved this, we actually had two issues then which came up. One, the Americans made us an offer of additional land in Washington, D.C. So then this raised a question whether we should go ahead with this project or whether we should be looking at the new land offer, which we got in 2019. The second issue was COVID, because of COVID, was at standstill for 2.5 years. So I would like to assure the member that since we have a property, we are giving instructions for its usage by the embassy so that a government asset is not rendered infructuous. Now, regarding the property in Paris, sir, we had again some very peculiarly French problems. One was the tendering practices in France are very different from us. They do not allow a general contractor who has overall supervision. So they insisted that the tender had to be split up into 15 packages, which were awarded to 10 different companies. Now, it was unfortunately, sir, a problem that one of the companies, which was in charge of structures, partitions, ceiling, and facade, went up. Now, in our country, by our procedures, we could have awarded that work to another contractor. In the French system, sir, till the liquidation was done, and the court of liquidation appointed another company to do that, and that company then raised the price. We had to follow the French practices. So, but I would like to assure the honorable member, sir, that this project is 95% done. There are challenges when we work abroad and we have to reconcile their practices with our rules. I think we have tried to do our best under these circumstances. And I'm sure when the CAG paragraph is examined, including by the PAC, these will be issues which will be presented.
Sri Rakesh Sinha.
सभापति महोदय, मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से जानना चाहता हूं कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात कही है, इंडिया इज द ओल्डेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। यद्यपि हम प्राइमरी लेवल किताब में पढ़ते थे, लेकिन पहली बार भारतीय राज्य ने इसको एसर्टिव तरीके से नैरेटिव को रखा है, क्योंकि जब हम देखते हैं यूएस में तो व्हाइट हाउस में लिखा रहता है कि आवर फाउंडर्स लुक्ड एट द ओल्डेस्ट डेमोक्रेसी दैट इज ग्रीस। So this is unsettling the entire civilizational discourse. तो क्या मंत्री जी बताएंगे कि ये जो हमारे कल्चरल सेंटर है वह विदेशों में डेमोक्रेसी के ऊपर डिस्कोर्स को महत्वपूर्ण विश्वविद्यालयों में जैसे हार्वर्ड हुआ, कैम्ब्रिज हुआ, शुरू करेगा?
माननीय मंत्री जी।
Sir, I would like to inform the honorable member through you that this matter has been discussed by us with the Indian Council of Cultural Relations. We have already initiated activities with various institutions abroad through our cultural centers to emphasize the message that India is the mother of democracy, that we have a pluralistic and consultative tradition, which very few societies, if anybody at all, can match. And this is very much work in progress.
Sri P. Bhattacharya ji.
I would like to know, Honorable Minister, as you have said that in Paris and Washington, the Indian Cultural Center facing some sort of problems, etc. I would like to know from you, besides this Washington and Paris, how many other countries we have this type of cultural center and who are actively functioning of spreading the Indian culture in other part of the world?
Honorable Minister.
So I do not have the exact number readily with me, but by memory, I would say we have about 45 designated cultural centers. But I would also like to inform the honorable member that today every embassy and every consulate of India undertakes cultural work. So even if there is not a separate autonomous cultural center, cultural activity is very much part of the diplomatic mandate. It is being pushed very vigorously. And we have, again, sir, seen a very big change in the last decade, and that is something which is very noteworthy.
Srimati Seema Dwivedi.
महोदय, जो सवाल हम करना चाहते थे माननीय सिन्हा जी ने किया और बहुत अच्छा उसका उत्तर आया। मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ माननीय मंत्री जी को, मुझे मेरे प्रश्न का उत्तर मिल गया।
Question number 78, Shri Johar Sarkar. Honorable Minister.
Statement is laid on the table of the House.
First supplementary.
Sir, I asked for a specific question, specific reply to the ongoing differences between the Supreme Court and the executive. We as the legislature have the right to ask these questions, but what I get by way of reply is it requires consultation. Of course, we know it. And differences of opinion, if any, are mutually reconciled. So am I to understand that all differences are mutually reconciled? And in the same sentence, you have used the word that only the appropriate
Honorable
person
member,
is appointed as
Please
the
ask
judge.
your supplementary.
Sir, वही supplementary मैं पूछ रहा हूँ.
Please, please.
Do you consider Victoria Gowrie's appointment to be really an appropriate person, one who has been accused in public of casteist remarks, of remarks against minorities?
Some decorum. An honorable judge who has been duly appointed through a process. I don't think we as honorable members here should be casting aspersions of this nature.
Sir,
I seek your indulgence.
I ask because this is in the public domain.
Honorable.
Everybody on earth knows that Victoria Gowrie's opinions have been challenged
Honorable
by the liberal
member,
majority.
honorable member.
You cannot wish it away saying that this is
Honorable,
not proper.
honorable member. Honorable member, please. The three wings of the state, legislature, executive, and judiciary, they have to act in tandem and togetherness, and we must have mutual respect for them. All three ultimately have to get together to fructify our goals. When it comes to judiciary, with respect to which a judgment of the highest court has already come, I'm sure that issue should be kept away. I would urge the honorable member to ask his supplementary in a pointed manner, keeping in mind the provisions that judicial situations have to be addressed in a delicate manner. Please.
With delicacy, I'm saying.
No, you are making reference, honorable member.
Sir, I'm saying.
No, you are making reference to an individual who is not a member of the House.
Sir,
you are making reference on which the honorable president has issued a warrant
this is a
of
factual
appointment.
thing known
The Supreme
all
Court
over
has
India.
taken already a view on that.
Whatever be it, mistakes happen.
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Chairman, sir, you have very rightly made the observation that there are certain sensitive matters which we have to bear in mind when we speak in this August House. And the leader of the House also. You have been not called by the chairman to speak. Sir, the question the honorable member has raised, honorable member is a former senior bureaucrat, so I expect that he need not be told the rules and regulations and decorum. However, his question was very specific. He was asking about the conflict between judiciary and executive. Now, this is a vague kind of question. In a way, if there are differences in opinion, and that is very much part of the democracy. Within a family, within political parties, there are differences of opinion. So when there are differences of opinion, there are ways to make solutions to that also. So his question was not anything which he wanted to know from the government in terms of any figures, facts.
Honorable member, second supplementary.
Minister has not replied correctly. I asked for sharp points of difference, not conflict. So don't put words in my mouth. I asked for sharp points of difference. That has not been responded
Honorable
to.
Minister.
And sir, one more, sir. One more to this, that he has mentioned about 127 proposals of High Court judges that are lying vacant. When will they be taken up?
Honorable
18
Minister.
proposals have been rejected.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, while I am speaking in this house today, there are 210 vacancies in various high courts in terms of the numbers of the vacancy, I can say that once the names are recommended by the collegium, 3 members collegium in the High Court, then it proceeds as per the laid down procedure in the memorandum of the procedure.
Shri Sushil Modi.
So, sir, these 210 names, he is asking about the vacancies. We have not received the proposal, so there's no question of any sharp differences.
Shri Sushil Modi.
सती महोदय, मैं माननीय मंत्री महोदय से जानना चाहता हूं कि ये बात सही कि 6 जनवरी 2023 को भारत सरकार ने चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया को एक पत्र लिखा है और जिसमें यह आग्रह किया कि सर्च कम इवैल्यूएशन कमेटी में भारत सरकार का और राज्य सरकारों का प्रतिनिधि रखा जाए, जिसके द्वारा कॉलेजियम जो जजेस की नियुक्ति की जा सके।
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर।
और उसकी क्या स्थिति है?
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर।
सर, आपको इस चीज का विदित होगा कि 2015 में जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच ने इस हाउस के द्वारा पारित किया गया, यूनानिमसली जो पारित किया गया एनजेएसी और 99th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट एक्ट, दोनों को स्ट्राइक डाउन किया था, तो उसमें कुछ ऑब्जर्वेशंस किए थे और कुछ डायरेक्शंस दिए थे। उसी डायरेक्शन के मुताबिक और उस डायरेक्शन में क्लियरली लिखा है कि जो एग्जिस्टिंग एमओपी को सप्लीमेंट किया जाए, इम्प्रोवाइज किया जाए, और उसी में यह भी कहा गया कि सरकार को पहल करना चाहिए कॉलेजियम के साथ। उसको फॉलो करते हुए मैंने एक पत्र लिखा, लेकिन उस पत्र को कुछ समाचार और पत्र में या किसी एक फोरम में गलत तरीके से पेश किया गया, तो ये न्यूज़पेपर के आधार पर अगर हम लोग यहाँ बात करेंगे तो ये ठीक नहीं रहेगा सर।
श्री तिरुचि Siva.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir, my question is very simple, very important. Would the government consider the possibilities of introducing the reservation policy in the appointment of judges?
Honorable Minister.
Sir, as per the existing policy and provision, there is no reservation in the Indian judiciary. However, I have already reminded all the honorable judges, especially the collegium members, to keep in mind recommending the names to include the members from backward communities, women, and other categories which are not represented adequately in the Indian judiciary.
Shri KTS Tulsi.
Honorable Chairman, sir, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It's an important issue, and I want to place before this House and before the Minister the statement made by Mr. B.R. Ambedkar with regard to the appointment of judges. It's very important. With this statement, Dr. Ambedkar says, with regard to the question of concurrence of the Chief Justice, it seems to me that those who advocate that proposition seem to rely implicitly both on impartiality of the Chief Justice and the soundness of his judgment. I personally feel no doubt that the Chief Justice is an eminent person, but after all, the Chief Justice is a man with all the failings, all the sentiments, and all the prejudices which we as common people have. And I think to allow the Chief Justice practically veto on the appointment of judges is to transfer the authority to the Chief Justice, which we are not prepared to do, which we are not prepared to veto. Then there is Justice Krishna Iyer, who
Sir,
has
your question
expressed
now,
himself.
your question.
So this is in public domain.
Your question to the Honorable Minister.
No, my second question, with regard to the same issue, is the quotation from Justice Krishna Iyer on the appointment of judges. And Justice Krishna Iyer says, there is no structure to hear the public in the process of selection. No principle is laid down. No investigation is made. And a sort of anarchy prevailed. Is
Honorable
that right?
Minister.
Sir, I share and endorse the sentiments made by Honorable Member Tulsi ji, and also what he has quoted from the debates of the Constituent Assembly, especially Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ji. However, we all know how the provisions of the Constitution got changed, especially in the second judge's case, which is known as the Advocates on Records Association versus Union of India case. And that where the word consultation was transferred and changed as concurrence. And further, the president reference was made to seek clarification on the exact meaning of the consultation. And it was elaborated and further expanded in 1998 by introducing the collegium system. So what was transpired in the Constituent Assembly and what was being introduced and which we still practice, there is a big shift. But however, since we are not discussing about the judicial appointment and the matters related to, it will be difficult to respond to the quotes which honorable member has made, especially about Justice Krishna
Question
Iyer
number
and
79, Shri Mujibullah Khan.
79.
Honorable
Chairman,
Minister.
sir, the answer is laid on the table of House.
Supplementary one.
थैंक यू सर। मैं राज्यसभा आने के बाद सर ये पहला स्टार क्वेश्चन मेरे भाग्य में पड़ा है।
सप्लीमेंट्री।
और मेरा सौभाग्य है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आज सदन पर मौजूद है, उनके उपस्थिति में मेरे को पूछने का मौका मिला है। मैं माननीय मंत्री महोदय से जानना चाहता हूं कि जो पावर रिएक्टर्स मध्य प्रदेश, राजस्थान, हमारे कर्नाटक और हरियाणा, ये 4 राज्यों में चल रहे हैं। माननीय मंत्री जी उसमें आंसर दिए हैं कि 2031 को ये रिएक्टर्स कंप्लीट होगा। तो मैं माननीय मंत्री से ये जानना चाहता हूं कि ये सब प्रोग्राम एक कब शुरू हुआ था, ये रिएक्टर्स का काम कौन से साल में शुरू हुआ था और कब खत्म होने के लिए टाइम उसका फिक्स किया गया।
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर,
इस बीच में अगर टाइम ज्यादा चले गया है तो कितना हमारा और पैसा एक्स्ट्रा लगा, नुकसान कितना हो रहा है?
सभापति महोदय, आदरणीय सदस्य का अभिनंदन है और जो उन्होंने प्रश्न किया उसका उत्तर तो उनको उपलब्ध करवा दिया गया, लेकिन इसमें कोई अनावश्यक विलंब नहीं हुआ है। वास्तविकता यह है कि सन 2017 में मंत्रिमंडल की ओर से स्वीकृति दी गई थी और कुल मिलाकर के 1,05,000 करोड़ की लागत से ये सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स बनने हैं, जिसमें 2 रिएक्टर कर्नाटक, 2 हरियाणा, 2 मध्य प्रदेश, 2 राजस्थान। अब 2031 का जो लास्ट डेडलाइन है वो फेज्ड मैनर में है। उसका अर्थ ये नहीं है कि सारे के सारा फंक्शनल उसी साल में होगा, धीरे धीरे फेजेस में ये काम चलेगा, लेकिन ये निरंतर इसकी प्रगति हो रही है। क्योंकि इस सरकार का सन 2014 के बाद प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हमने अनेकों ऐसे कारण जो पहले विलंब पैदा करते थे उनकी भी चिंता की है और इसीलिए आपको जानकर के खुशी होगी और आदरणीय सदस्य को भी कि 2013-14 में जब ये सरकार आई थी तो हमारे यहाँ कुल मिलाकर के जनरेशन जो एटॉमिक एनर्जी की होती थी वो थी 35,333 मिलियन यूनिट, जो आज बढ़कर के 47,112 हो गई। अर्थात 60-65 वर्ष में हम केवल 35,000 तक पहुंचे थे और 8 वर्ष में हम 12,000 की उसमें इजाफा हुआ। इसी प्रकार, और ये इसलिए संभव हुआ कि अनेकों ऐसे निर्णय लिए गए प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा जो आउट ऑफ बॉक्स भी थे, पाथ ब्रेकिंग थे। उदाहरण के तौर पर 3,000 करोड़ रुपए का बजट रखा गया एक्सक्लूसिव फॉर एटॉमिक एनर्जी फॉर 10 इयर्स। इसके अतिरिक्त ये तय किया गया कि हमारी जनरेशन कैपेसिटी सन 2025-24 तक 3 गुना बढ़ करके हो जाएगी। अक्सर ये हमारे रिएक्टर प्लांट्स और न्यूक्लियर प्लांट्स सीमित थे दक्षिण के कुछ राज्यों तक या पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र में, उनको देश के दूसरे हिस्सों में भी ले जाने का काम शुरू हुआ। जहां हम खड़े हैं इससे कोई 150 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर हरियाणा में गोरखपुर नाम के स्थान पर हमारा एक प्रोजेक्ट अगले 2 वर्ष के भीतर वो भी फंक्शनल हो जाएगा। इसके अतिरिक्त ये पहली बार इस सरकार के द्वारा हुआ 2017 में, जिस साल ये प्रोजेक्ट अप्रूव हुए उसी साल 10 इंडिजिनस प्रोजेक्ट्स पूरे आत्मनिर्भर के मंत्र पर आधारित अप्रूव किए गए इन अ बल्क अप्रूवल। इतना ही नहीं, हमें दिक्कत आती थी फाइनेंशियल कंस्ट्रेंट्स की। पहली बार जिस प्रकार से अंतरिक्ष को प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने प्राइवेट पार्टिसिपेशन के लिए खोल दिया और एक बड़ा क्रांतिकारी एक निर्णय हुआ, उसी प्रकार परमाणु ऊर्जा के क्षेत्र में भी जॉइंट वेंचर्स के लिए सन 2017 में खोल दिया गया। और मुझे खुशी है इस सदन के साथ ये बात साझा करते हुए कि वर्तमान में हम इस प्रकार की 2 जॉइंट वेंचर्स में काफी अच्छी तरह से प्रगति कर रहे हैं। एक हमारी एनटीपीसी के साथ है, जो नेशनल थर्मल कॉर्पोरेशन है, और दूसरा इंडियन ऑयल के साथ। तो कहने का तात्पर्य ये कि बहुत तीव्र गति से, यदि आप मुझे कहें तो मैं कुछ और भी, लेकिन शायद समय की मर्यादा रहेगी।
ऑनरेबल मेंबर सेकंड सप्लीमेंट्री।
मान्यवर मंत्री महोदय, हमारे जॉइंट वेंचर में जो पीपीपी मोड में किया गया है, हमारे पार्टनर्स कौन कौन हैं और ये पार्टनर्स आने के बाद हम लोग कितने सफलता हासिल किए?
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर।
पार्टनर्स एक बार दोहराएंगे?
ये पीपीपी में पार्टनर कौन कौन है जॉइंट वेंचर में?
शायद समझने में, मेरे समझाने में, इट इज नॉट पीपीपी मॉडल। अभी हमने जॉइंट वेंचर्स फॉर द टाइम बिंग खोला है विद द पब्लिक सेक्टर यूनिट्स। शायद वो आगे जाकर के उस पर विचार हो। फिलहाल चूंकि अभी तक तो ये पूरा गोपनीयता में काम करता था, तो 2017 में एक निर्णय लेकर के प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में जॉइंट वेंचर्स विद पब्लिक सेक्टर यूनिट्स, और ये एनटीपीसी और इंडियन ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन दोनों ही पब्लिक सेक्टर है। पहले चरण में हमने इस तरह का एक प्रयोग और इसके अनुभव से फिर आगे बढ़ने का प्रयास रहेगा।
श्री जयराम रमेश।
Sir, my question is completely non-political and I expect a completely non-political answer. I'd like the Honorable Minister to take the House into confidence. What is the status of negotiations with the French, which has been going on for a long time, for the construction of 1600 megawatt reactors at Jaitapur in Maharashtra?
Honorable Minister.
No, I think the question, as desired by the honorable member, he has desired a non-political response, but the question itself is laced in politics, because so much of the conflict of
response,
the views on the two sides happened because of certain geopolitical reasons. But we are very earnestly trying to sort it out, and we are moving forward.
Question number 80, Shri Kanak Medala Ravindra Kumar. Absent. Minister. Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, question number 80. Okay. Shri Dinesh Anavadia.
धन्यवाद माननीय सभापति महोदय जी। मैं गुजरात से आता हूँ और आपके माध्यम से माननीय मंत्री जी से ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि 1 फरवरी 2023 की स्थिति में गुजरात के उच्च न्यायालयों में विलंबित मामलों का ब्यौरा दीजिए।
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर।
महोदय, पिछले 3 साल गुजरात में जो प्रश्न पूछा गया है कि उनके यहाँ कितने मामले लंबित हैं, इस मामले में मैं गुजरात के बारे में बताना चाहूँगा कि जो अधीनस्थ न्यायालयों में 14,46,459 मुकदमे जो है लंबित हैं, और जहाँ तक गुजरात में हाईकोर्ट, आपका जिले के मामले में या हाईकोर्ट के मामले? जी जी।
Dr. Ami Yagnik.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to ask the Honorable Law Minister that there are about 63 lakh cases in India which are pending due to non-availability of legal counsel to them. Does the government intend to expand the panel of lawyers appointed by the National Legal Services Authority to provide free legal aid to a wider range of these eligible litigants who do not have representation by a lawyer?
Honorable Minister.
सभापति महोदय, विधिक सलाह के लिए नालसा, सालसा, डालसा और ताल्लुक स्तर पर हम जो वंचित हैं, शोषित हैं, पीड़ित हैं, महिलाएं हैं, दिव्यांग लोग हैं, एससी के लोग हैं, एसटी के लोग हैं, माइनॉरिटी के लोग हैं, जो आर्थिक रूप से विपन्न हैं, उनके लिए हम लोग विधिक सलाह दे रहे हैं। प्रोबोनो स्कीम है और न्याय बंधु की स्कीम है और टेलीलॉ की स्कीम।
I think
Also, I will appoint more lawyers for these kind of people.
It was not audible, but response
I
is there.
think the answer was not correct.
And you both being from this, you can get in touch with the Honorable Minister.
So the intention is to come from the Honorable Law Minister.
And the paralegal volunteers are being expanded, and we have already stated that from last year, we are even giving free legal aids for providing pro bono services. The fees are provided with the government. This is a great effort to ensure that poor people get justice at a very, very cheap rate or free, of course, if possible.
It required a high decibel response. Dr. Shantanu Sen.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as a law-abiding citizen, I am really worried, as because there is a prevailing public perception because of certain events and certain statements that our government is trying to have a direct control over the judiciary. My question before my learned minister is, what step is being taken by our government to clear this confusion amongst the common people at large?
Honorable Minister.
सभापति महोदय, जैसे आपने ही अपने विचार व्यक्त करते हुए कहा था कि डेमोक्रेसी के 3 पिलर हैं, कार्यपालिका, विधायिका और न्यायपालिका। तीनों के अपने अधिकार हैं, तीनों के कर्तव्य हैं और कोई भी लक्ष्मण रेखा का उल्लंघन नहीं करता है। तो इसलिए सबके अपने सीमाओं में हम लोग काम करते हैं और कुल मिलाकर हमारा उद्देश्य है कि अंतिम व्यक्ति को न्याय मिल सके।
Question number 81, Shri Javed Ali Khan. Honorable Minister. Supplementary one, Honorable Member.
माननीय सभापति जी, आप भी देखिए मेरे प्रश्न का भाग का।
आप प्रश्न पूछिए।
पूछूंगा तो जब जवाब देंगे। भाग का एक भी जवाब, एक शब्द भी उसके जवाब में नहीं लिखा गया है। अब मेरा सवाल तो सुन लीजिए सर।
ऑनरेबल,
बहरहाल वो बाद में मुझे बता देंगे या दोबारा पटल पे रख देंगे।
नहीं, ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर, तब पटल पर रखा था, अब बताएंगे। ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर।
सभापति महोदय, हमारे जो माननीय सदस्य हैं उनका स्पेसिफिक प्रश्न था कि ऑल इंडिया कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स जो सरकार तय करती है उसमें जो वेटेज के मानक है वो क्या है, ऑल इंडिया, और मैं उनको ये बताना चाहूंगा कि इसके जो मानक हैं 1941 से प्रक्रिया शुरू हुई है। श्रम मंत्रालय के द्वारा 2016 के इंडेक्स को बनाया गया है। हमने 2016 के इंडेक्स के 16 का जो इंडेक्स बनाया उसमें मानकों में वृद्धि करी है। उसमें जो यूनियन और स्टेट जो संख्या थी उसको 25 करके 28 किया है। कवरेज जो 78 था जो सेंटर्स का उसको बढ़ाकर 88 किया है। इसके अतिरिक्त उसके कवरेज के जो मार्केट्स जो क्षेत्र थे उनको हमने इंक्रीज किया है और उसके साथ ही साथ सैंपल साइज को भी बढ़ाया है। ये जो मानक इकट्ठे किए जाते हैं ये मानक औद्योगिक जगत के जो 7 क्षेत्र हैं उन विभिन्न क्षेत्रों से किए जाते हैं और अब उसमें पहले 392 उसमें कमोडिटीज थी, उनको बढ़ाकर अब 465 किया गया है और उसके द्वारा ही इस वेज का निर्धारण होता है।
ऑनरेबल मेंबर सेकंड सप्लीमेंट्री।
सर, अगर आप मेरे प्रश्न से और उत्तर से संतुष्ट हैं तो फिर मजबूरी में मुझे भी संतुष्ट होना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आपका आदेश तो
प्लीज आस्क योर सप्लीमेंट।
सर माथे है। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से ये जानना चाहता हूं कि वित्त मंत्रालय के अनुसार मई 2022 में जो थोक मूल्य सूचांक WPI महंगाई का था, वो पिछले 30 वर्षों में सबसे अधिक था। लेकिन जो हमारा लेबर ब्यूरो है शिमला, उसके अनुसार महंगाई भत्ता 3 से 4% तक ही बढ़ रहा है। क्या मंत्री जी ये बताने का कष्ट करेंगे कि आइटम्स का वेटेज परसेंटेज तय करने में कुछ उसे घटाया बढ़ाया जाता है हर बार, ताकि महंगाई भत्ता जो है वो कम देना पड़े?
माननीय मंत्री जी।
मुझे लगता है कि सरकार बहुत पारदर्शिता के साथ कार्य करती है और हमने उस पारदर्शिता को बढ़ाने के लिए मानकों के स्थान, सैंपल का साइज और सारी संख्याओं को बढ़ाया, जो मैंने अपने पूर्व उत्तर में दिया गया है। और ये मानक 1941 से लगातार किए जा रहे हैं और इसलिए उस पारदर्शी प्रक्रिया को हम पूरी तरीके से सबके सामने रखते हैं। और माननीय सदस्य को भी अगर कोई और आशंका है तो कभी भी व्यक्तिगत आकर मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं।
श्री M. Shanmugam.
Thank you very much, sir. Regarding the All India Consumer Price Index, it was started in 1936. Subsequently, 1960, it was revised by a committee. Then 1980 also, it was revised by a committee by Dr. Seal and Roth. Long 40 years, no committee has been formed to revise this index. This, I request the Honorable Minister to revise this index. This is the right time.
Honorable
to
Minister.
form a committee and revise.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, ये सुझाव है और लेबर ब्यूरो के द्वारा इस पर विचार किया जा रहा है।
Question number 82, Shri K.R. Suresh Reddy. Absent. Honorable Minister. Question number 83, Dr. Fozia Khan.
Question number 83, sir.
उत्तर सभा पटल पे रखा गया।
Honorable Member Supplementary 1.
Sir, I want to ask the minister through you, that these animals from the forest, they come into non-forest areas, and the farmers, to protect their crops, they put up these fences illegally electrified. And because of that, so many tigers and leopards and even humans are being killed. So, because the farmers have to protect their fields, sir, my suggestion to the government would be, can they come up with a scheme where DC current fences are given to farmers, the way you give solar panels and all that. So with this, the farmers' farm will also be protected and animals and humans will also be not
Honorable
killed.
Minister.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, माननीय सदस्य ने सही कहा है कि दिन प्रतिदिन हमारे जो ह्यूमन एनिमल जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो रहे हैं, उसके कारण इस प्रकार की घटनाएं घट रही है, उनकी संख्या भी मैंने दी है। जहां तक आपने सुझाव दिया है, निश्चित रूप से हमारे विभाग के द्वारा 6 फरवरी 2021 को एक व्यापक गाइडलाइन सभी स्टेट को दी गई है। हमने सभी राज्यों से कहा है कि जिला स्तर पर चूंकि विभिन्न प्रकार के डिपार्टमेंट इसके अंतर्गत इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, उनकी कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी बनाई जाए। पर्टिकुलर जो हॉट स्पॉट्स हैं, जहां पर सबसे ज्यादा इंसिडेंट होते हैं, उनको आइडेंटिफाई किया जाए। और उसके साथ हमने वन विभाग के साथ ये भी स्थानीय प्रशासन को कहा है कि हम जॉइंट पेट्रोलिंग भी आपके साथ डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ कर रहे हैं, ताकि जो घटनाएं घटती हैं। लेकिन हम जानते हैं कि इसमें जो सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है,
पॉइंटेड रिस्पॉन्स।
हाँ, हम जो सबसे ज्यादा जानते हैं कि पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन की बहुत जरूरत है और कुछ जगहों पर विशेष रूप से जो एलिफेंट्स वगैरह हैं, वहाँ अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम जो है, उसकी भी व्यवस्था हमने की है। 6 फरवरी 2021 की गाइडलाइन में कंप्लीट विस्तार से सब विषयों को।
Honorable Member, second supplementary.
So my question was about having a scheme for
Ma'am,
DC current
avail the
cleanses.
second
My
supplementary.
second supplementary, sir, is that in all states, particularly in Maharashtra, this pyramid which is there of the forest department, where administrative positions have to be at the top and executive positions down below, it is being reversed. Executive positions, the people who go to farms to actually, to the forest to actually safeguard it, is becoming less and less, and administrative positions are being expanded unnecessarily by giving additional charges.
Honorable Minister.
So, sir, I just want to ask the minister whether if people don't go to the headquarters, they don't stay at headquarters, what will the government do about it? Because
Honorable
this is
Minister.
the reason why all this is happening.
अगर कोई ऐसी विशेष कुछ अधिकारियों के संबंध में आपके संबंध में अगर जानकारी है तो निश्चित रूप से आप दीजिए ताकि हम कार्रवाई करेंगे। जहां तक स्कीम की बात है, मैंने अपने पूर्व उत्तर में भी कहा था कि 6 फरवरी 2021 को एक पूरी व्यापक स्कीम हमने एडवाइजरी जारी करी है, उसकी कॉपी मैं आपको उपलब्ध करा दूंगा। अभी तुरंत ही 1 महीने पहले हमने वापस से एडवाइजरी मैन ह्यूमन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के लिए करी है, जिसमें कंपनसेशन से लेकर सभी विषयों को रखा गया है, जो नेट पे भी उपलब्ध है और मैं स्वयं आपको उपलब्ध करा।
Thank you. Question number 84, Sri Narayan Das Gupta, not present. Honorable Minister.
Laid on the table of the House.
Question number 85, Sri Sanjay Raut, not present. Honorable Minister.
सभा के पटल पर रख दिया गया।
Sri Krishna Naya Raiga.
चेयरमैन और लोक अदालत फ्री लीगल एड के बारे में एक क्वेश्चन है। फ्री लीगल एड some in High Court and Supreme Court, in some area in Lok Adalat are there. But in Supreme Court, so many public litigation interested cases are there. Some of the
Your question. Ask your question.
Intellectuals, poor persons who filed public litigation interest. In such cases, there is no legal aid. We ask the government to, is there any proposal to legal aid to the public litigation?
Honorable Minister.
सभापति महोदय, जहां तक शोषित, पीड़ित, वंचित, गरीब, SC ST माइनॉरिटी के लोग जो आर्थिक स्थिति जिनकी ठीक नहीं है, उनके लिए सरकार की तमाम योजनाएं हैं जिसके लीगल एड। इस मामले में हम लोग टेली लॉ स्कीम है महोदय, उसी के साथ न्याय बंधु की स्कीम है, उसी के साथ प्रो बोनो स्कीम है। इनके द्वारा जो लोग, और विधिक साक्षरता और विधिक जागरूकता कार्यक्रम भी चल रहे हैं, इस मामले में लोग कानूनी सहायता ले सकते हैं। और नालसा कंट्री लेवल पर, सलसा राज्य लेवल पर, नालसा जिले लेवल पर, तालुक स्तर पर भी कानूनी सहायता सरकार दे रही है।
Question number 86, Sri Mastan Rao Bida. Not present. Honorable Minister. Honorable members, on the motion of thanks on Honorable President address, opportunity was given to all sections. However, in the category of nominated members, as Sri Ghulam Ali availed the maiden speech time, I will accommodate one more member at their request. 10 minutes will be given to a member in this category at 2 p.m. and thereafter there will be reply by the Honorable Prime Minister. Nominated. Question hour is over. Honorable members, House stands adjourned to meet at 2 p.m. today.
डेट दिया जाएगा। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, पिछले 9 वर्षों में प्रति व्यक्ति आय करीब दुगनी होकर 1